The president of Ripple revealed that Bank of America, one of the biggest banks in the world, is fully embracing XRP. First of all, it's really bullish, therefore we need to discuss it. Second, it gives us a clear understanding of how Bank of America uses XRP or even how it is heavily involved in the Ripple ecosystem. However, let's begin by acknowledging that TradFi is already a part of the cryptocurrency space. For instance, JP Morgan's Kexis blockchain infrastructure, which reimagines the flow of funds, assets, and financial data, offers tokenized investments, speedier cross-border payments, and next-generation financial infrastructure. The fascinating thing about this is that it's private because it was Onyx. JP Morgan, all right. Regardless of the name, I don't care if it's JP Morgan. This blockchain-based project is private in nature. All of these private chains that are floating around are dead because anything that is a private chain will never even come close to being a public chain. All of them had perished in the water. They won't see anything like the flows that public blockchains do, I guess. On the other hand, it simply demonstrates that JP Morgan is already present. We could even say the same thing about State Street, which on February 17th announced that it would launch crypto custody in 2026. We also know that Citi has been around for a long time. And if anyone taps into the blockchain initiatives when they are private, you know they will easily see a night and day difference if they tap into public, which I think is going to be the wave going forward. Yes, even in 2021, Citi was a major player. Digital custody is their main concern. Their main concern is digital settlement. They're emphasizing DT. They are emphasizing blockchain technology. Well, Citi knows, of course. In addition to that, we have BNY Mellon. This year's April 3rd, BNY Mellon launches a cutting-edge on-chain product to broaden its digital asset platform. These are only some of the major announcements, so pay attention. Alright, SAB 121 was seen to descend. We witnessed the OC facilitating large banks. We witnessed the FDIC supporting large banks. The major banks are present. When it comes to scaling, they are prepared. What do you think will happen now that they're beginning to see that the market is opening up for them? They will scale. The irony of this is that Bank of America has kept us updated on particular initiatives they are prepared to undertake throughout the year. For instance, we heard about the debut of a stable coin back in February. Additionally, back in January, their CEO stated that the financial sector would embrace cryptocurrency payments if authorities let it. We brought this to the attention of this channel because it undoubtedly related to XRP because we are aware of its ties to Bank of America. However, even over here, we have, well, this is more about Wall Street and Bank of America regulations. Therefore, for the banking sector to support such transactions, they would need to be non-anonymized and validated. The industry would be forced to accept the new currency stream if regulations were put in place to that effect. We must, since our clients will want to transfer money in this way as well. The danger that cryptocurrencies might pose to the U.S. currency is another issue that the financial sector is worried about. We are aware that it genuinely helps the U.S. dollar. A toll is essential for supporting the economy. Scott Bent, Trump's choice for Treasury Secretary, does agree that it is critical to keep the dollar as the global reserve currency. Treasury Secretary does agree that it is critical to keep the dollar as the global reserve currency. Although the CEO of Bank of America acknowledged that a strong dollar is beneficial to our economy, he made it clear that increased use of cryptocurrency for consumer payments is not always a direct result of developments in the investment sector. If you are able to pay with a Visa, MasterCard, or even a debit card, Apple Pay, when you come in to buy lunch, this is just another way to make a quick cash transfer. That's actually a different subject when you get to the Bitcoin and investment aspects. Again, based just on their speech patterns, I don't believe that many of these TRFI men still comprehend the technology. In my view, the underlying network and even the underlying token are impacted by the payments surrounding DT and blockchain. And I'm completely okay with that if we do eventually reach a moment where cryptocurrency is used for large-scale payments because there are enormous sums of money to be gained from those initiatives alone. Furthermore, as I mentioned in March, the OC clarified roles on bank operations related to cryptocurrency. This was followed by another one on May 7th, when the OC clarified bank authority to engage in crypto asset custody and execution services. The FDIC declared that banks no longer require approval for cryptocurrency, and the Fed naturally dropped its guidelines on bank crypto-related activity. As a result, we are still seeing actions being taken even around 4 months this was over. The market is open for business for institutional players when we consider what is taking place here. This is from a digital asset investor, therefore I want to come over here now. That Ripple has been working on. Brian Moynihan, the head of Bank of America, recently stated that they will introduce a stable currency when the stable coin legislation. You would go obtain your film, get it developed, and then transport it from one location to another. You would see Kodak stores on every corner. With the advent of digital photography, correspondent banking was similar to those camera stock shops. You took a picture and sent it home to your grandmother at the same moment you took it, at the Louvre in Paris. Thus, reliable coins will be used and it will significantly threaten the function of banks in transferring money around the world. Traditional finance has therefore abruptly come to the conclusion that Washington is no longer an obstacle to innovation. Now they're supporting it. David Strzelecki, was the source of it, and it was circulating back in early January. He claimed that Bank of America had been using it for all of their internal transactions for about 2 years before they shut it down, which is why everyone was talking about it. Personally, I believe that the United States is considering Ripple as a quick system substitute. This is precisely what David stated. Can we now verify everything? We truly cannot. But we are also unable to reject it since we lack the necessary evidence. Bank of America has been a long-time client of Ripple's, and we know this for sure. They have been paired together. Well, Bank of America did state that after the litigation is concluded, they will use XRP-powered on-demand liquidity. When we consider what's actually happening here, these institutions may be surreptitiously preparing to invest heavily in XRP and use it extensively once laws are finalized, as was revealed by the CEO of Bank of America back in January. Therefore, when we take a close look at what's happening, we can see that things are changing. Furthermore, I believe that we should focus on the institutional aspects of XRP and Ripple since they will undoubtedly have a significant impact on XRP. Having said that, I hope you all found this video entertaining. You are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord channel listed in the description below if you would like. Subscribe and receive notifications for my free content. Having stated that, I want to thank everyone for watching. Nick, goodbye.